Hello again. It's Raphael, Creative Director at Hinterland, with an outline of what you'll find in the next major update to the Long Dark, which we're calling Desolation Point. As we promised in our last update, Deep Forest, this update introduces a new region to the world. But before we get into that, I'd like to outline a few other features and improvements that we're really excited about. First off, we've added the ability for you to place gear items directly in the world. This has been a highly requested feature and a nice improvement over just dropping your extra gear on the floor. We think this will open up whole new possibilities for how you arrange your supply caches and safe houses. Building on work we started in the last update, we've completely overhauled our weather system. Not only does the weather now look better than before, we've also added a new weather type, light fog, and introduced the notion of weather sets. Previously, our transitions in and out of weather types could be really jarring. This new system smooths those transitions out and also allows us to create predictable weather patterns that you can learn to read over time. These weather patterns are different from region to region as well, so pay close attention to the weather around you, as learning to predict when a blizzard might spool up could save your life. Visually, the game is at a big upgrade. We've gone through and retextured most of our assets to ensure the game has a more cohesive feel. In-game lighting and sky color has been improved for all times of day, particularly for dawn and dusk. We've also added support for screen space ambient occlusion on high-end systems, which improves overall shadows and lighting for interiors and exteriors. We've continued pushing forward with our overhaul of the game's user interface by replacing all text in a heads-up display with icons, and updating the old survival panel with a new status screen, which provides you with all the information you need about your current condition and any injuries or afflictions you might have. New metal forging gameplay opens up the possibility for players to craft their own improvised knives and hatchets, as well as arrowheads. This supports mid to late gameplay, where traditionally your long-term survival has been limited by access to these tools. We've also added a hacksaw, which lets you harvest scrap metal, and a hammer, a requirement for using the forge. There's also a new fuel type, coal, which is needed to bring the forge up to the temperatures required for metalworking, and can be found scattered throughout the various mines in the sandbox. On the audio side, we've made improvements to the wind system, so that you can now hear wind behaving differently based on where you are in the world, the time of day, temperature, or altitude. Our new gear audio system means you can hear signature gear items as you walk or run through the world. For example, the clanking of a metal lantern attached to your pack, or water sloshing around in your water bottle. Clothing materials and footwear also changes what you hear as you walk and run through the world. Finally, last but not least, the new region, Desolation Point. Accessed by continuing along the coastal highway, you'll pass through a burned-out forest and unstable mine to find your way to a stretch of highway pockmarked with a few abandoned sites, most notably an abandoned whaling station. With this region, we're experimenting with more of an industrial feeling. This has been an exercise in capturing a specific atmosphere that's different from our typically expansive wilderness regions. We feel it adds a unique flavor to our game world and a nice contrast to some of the other regions. This update includes other improvements as well. Overall performance optimizations across PC, Mac, and Xbox One, improved support for a variety of gamepads on PC and Mac, as well as many bug fixes and tuning changes. And you can now have up to 5 simultaneous sandbox games on the go. Please make sure you check out the change list for the current update published at hinterlandgames.com. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoy this update to the Long Dark.